If you're thinking in terms of motives, he was looking for sunny motives as well. So the sun is there all the time, just as large as in many of the Japanese prints, because he just wanted to emphasize that it was just as friendly and just as colorful as in Japan and thus in the south of France as well. In fact, he wanted to depict as many flowers as possible in the south, and he discovered, of course, that the flowers were not there because it's too sunny there. The temperature is simply too high. So what did he do? Then he went to the gardens of the people in the city and started to depict their flowers in their cultivated flowers, you could say, in their gardens, because he simply wanted to stay in harmony with the idea that you could find flowers there. So you see that there are all kinds of cliches about the South in connection to the prints that he wants to follow.
It's very strange. Everything he says, he describes as Japanese. Well, this is a kind of crystallization, I should say. He idealized the country, and everything what he sees in the south of France, he thinks they're all Japanese. And his own ideals, he described all of them as the Japanese. Well, we can also use the word obsession, but I would rather say crystallization, because he attached all his ideals around the nucleus, around the cores of the imaginary Japan.
My dear Theo, you already have a drawing of it. A farmhouse beside the wide road in the wheat fields. A meadow full of very yellow buttercups. A ditch with iris plants, with green leaves, with purple flowers. The town in the background, some gray willow trees, a strip of blue sky. If they don't mow the meadow, I would like to do this study again, because the subject matter was really beautiful, and I had trouble finding the composition. A little town, surrounded by countryside, entirely covered in yellow and purple flowers. Ah, that would really be a Japanese dream, you know.
The question is, okay, we see certain elements in his oeuvre and we can connect some of them with Japanese art and some of them we cannot. And every time we have to balance whether he believed that it was a Japanese element or not. Because that's, of course, important. We have to view it from his point of view. So one of the things, for instance, that's important to realize, Van Gogh really started to make, indeed, close-ups of nature after he had bought all those prints, not before that. So there is influence in the sense that he took that from the prints. The question is a little bit whether he considered that a Japanese kind of trick. That's questionable because actually what he was doing was something which the Impressionists were doing all the time already. So I tend to think that he didn't consider that so much as a Japanese kind of thing. It only became Japanese in the sense when he put big things on the foreground in order to make the picture flat.
He's making paintings in which you can really see the Japanese influence reflected, but he's incorporated into his own style. He's applying much stronger colors. That's also, of course, because of the light in the south, but also because these prints have helped him to look at reality in another way. He still always bases his work on reality. He puts his easel in front of his subject and he's painting that, the landscape or the portrait. But the way the Japanese prints are made in very large planes of colors with very strong lines, in a way it's about simplifying your compositions and making them stronger, and it's about choosing very strong, even garish colors that are not necessarily realistic, and that adds to the strength of the painting. And this is something that he very much learns from these examples. Of course, there's many influences on his work, but this was one that really fitted with what he wanted, what he was striving for.